This man was enjoying it too. Still the only Australian to have won the Tour de France. Let's not anoint Jai Hindley, but what a ride today.
Oh my God! Wow, that was really impressive. And excuse my emotions coming through a little bit, but the whole stage and looking broadly, not just at Jai, but as expected at the Tour, completely unexpected. But Jai just sensible, calm. We didn't see him till it really mattered, and look what it's brought for him.
Yeah, and how, people might be asking at home, does a man who is the winner of the Giro last year, one of the favourites, how is he allowed to get into the day's break?
It's a good question. One I was asking myself, because like you say, when you come to the Tour de France as a Giro winner, and not just, a flash in the pan, he's a consistent rider. How do you allow him to get in a break on the first real mountain stage of the Tour de France? And I think it boils down to the fact that Jumbo-Visma and UAE Team Emirates are just so focused on each other, and there's only so much you control at that early part of the bike race. We've seen 17 guys get in the break. So there's only so many riders you can watch, and it just boiled down to that fight, really. And going back to how Pogačar came to the Tour and how he raced the first 3 days, I'm not too sure if that's the way he likes the race, or he was actually quite sort of scared of what Vingegaard could do to him on today's and tomorrow's stage, that he actually needed to fight for these extra seconds to give him that sort of buffer going into the proper mountains.
Yeah, well, let's have a look at Vingegaard's race then, because obviously that was the other big story of the day. When he went, Pogačar, we didn't know whether at first he was just pacing himself or couldn't answer, but we found out pretty soon that he couldn't.
It was, well, this is the first glimpse of Pogačar being human. Every time we've seen him, he's reacted to everything, and he's sometimes overreacted to everything. But in this case, we saw quickly a 1 minute deficit in this point of the Tour is certainly anything but what he wanted.
How concerned are you about Jai Hindley?
Yeah, of course we have to look to Jai Hindley, and in the stage today we also really. During the stage we were really thinking, should we also put a guy on the front or not, and then we decided not, because being in the break it takes a lot of energy, and of course we have to think about Jai as well.
Was that a super day for you, or just a normal day for Jonas Vingegaard?
Oh, I think I had a super good day, yes.
Thanks, Jonas, thank you.
Right, thank you.
Let's turn back to Pogačar, Cadel. Pete was talking about everything he did in the spring and whether he was doing too much. But last year, it took a whole team, Jumbo-Visma, tag teaming him, constantly tiring him out to get rid of him. Today, he was there until he wasn't. And
it looked like he's had this pause and he's had this break, and I thought, well, this is going to be a good rest after the big season he's had. But as you pointed out, when Vingegaard went, he was out of the saddle, he attacked, whereas Pog just stayed seated. It meant he was probably empty. I'm guessing maybe it's not cold, but we've had a change from warm weather to much cooler weather. Sometimes that affects your eating and your feeding. But he didn't have anything to react with.
What do we think? First summit finished tomorrow. Jai Hindley is going to have to defend.
Yeah, I think, judging, just listening to his interview there, possibly the most lackadaisical yellow jersey wearer in quite some time in terms of his reaction. I don't think he's quite come to reality with it just yet, but tomorrow in the stage he'll have plenty of time to do that, but he's certainly going to have his work to cut out for him.
Will Vingegaard be going after him tomorrow, or will it be a more reserved stage and they'll just play it by ear and take it to the first rest day?
If I was Vingegaard and Jumbo-Visma, I'd look to try and finish Pogačar off tomorrow with the stage that we have. He can't sort of dwell. He has no time to regather his thoughts, Pogačar. Tomorrow's straight back into the long sustained climbs, and we're looking at facts now. It was the Col de Grenon last year where Vingegaard finished off Pogačar, and now anything over 20 minutes, Vingegaard is just, I would say, a step ahead of what Pogačar can do in terms of power and his capabilities.
And just quickly before we fall off the air, Cadel, we've sort of completely ignored Giulio Ciccone, who was looking good at the Giro, would have been looking good for the Giro if it wasn't for COVID, and is looking pretty good here.
He's looking very solid, but then we've seen this Pogačar who's not anywhere where he needs to be, and maybe there's someone's going to knock someone. At this point, it's looking like Pogačar's not going to be possible to get to the podium.
All right.